Welcome back, folks. It is Jafer, and today we're going to take a look at a brand new wireless mouse from Razer. They continue to add to their wireless portfolio, leaving their competitors in the dust. So today we're going to take a look at the Viper Mini the Orochi V2. Whew. Let's get started. The Orochi V2 comes in at $69.99 at your preferred retailer in only a black or white variant, but if you're wanting to spice things up a little bit, you can opt in for their more custom premium options at $89.99. What I do love about this is that they did partner with a lot of really awesome, well-respected artists within the scene, and so you can get something that you can tinker with or make something just completely on your own with the provided patterns on the website. Either way, though, if you do go custom, it's definitely going to be unique to you and you only. So I do appreciate Razer for giving us the option of that. Just keep in mind that when you do go custom, unlike your standard one, which is going to have a white or black textured surface, the printed ones that have artwork done on them is going to be smooth. And that can be something that can be very important to you as a player if you prefer something with a texture or you prefer something that is smooth. Either way, though, whether you get custom or you get the standard off the shelf, it is an extremely durable mouse with zero holes. Razer continues to make an extremely lightweight mouse without sacrificing its structure, and with it being an entire shell removal process, you can see right here a secondary layer of a shell that does protect the innards, and even then, though, it's still a solid shape. So I give their engineers a ton of props for being able to do this. And when you look at the underside here, you get exposure to the switches as well as the cavity for the battery. And what's really cool about this, as opposed to, say, the G305, where you just have one battery slot, you can actually tinker around with the weight on this. So if you're looking for something that's more back heavy, you're more than welcome to use a AAA battery, or if you want something a little bit more centered, then a AA. We're looking at 100% PTFE white feet here. It's really the normal from Razer at this point in the game, and what really should be a standard for everyone. They glide exceptionally smooth without any scratching on any surface that I have used. Now, dual modes are available on the Orochi. You have your standard 2.4 gigahertz with the provided USB-C receiver, as well as a 5.1 Bluetooth connection. There is no option to run anything wired, as this all runs strictly on replaceable batteries. I had zero issues with Razer's standard 2.4 gigahertz connection keeping up, as it's been fantastic for me with all of their latest variants of mice over the past couple years now. Bluetooth was hooked up to my Microsoft Surface, which is my work from home device, and lag was noticeable, but it wasn't really a deal breaker, as it was something that I've come to expect with Bluetooth. And so I would strictly keep Bluetooth as something for just normal computing or productivity needs. The battery life is Razer's big claim to fame with this mouse, and it is great, but I do wish companies who do market wireless mice, especially when you have options for what kind of battery you want to use, they aren't so big with inflated numbers, as something that you're going to see on the website as well as all over the box is its battery life of 550 hours on a single AA lithium, which is fantastic. However, the problem with that is that it's only running on Bluetooth because of its low power consumption, and it throttles that polling rate down to 125 hertz. Now, keep in mind, if you want to run this on 2.4 gigahertz, of course, that's for gaming, you still get a whopping 425 hours of battery life on that same AA lithium that Razer provides. So huge shout out to them for the battery life, as well as including a lithium, as most companies will just give you a standard off-the-shelf alkaline battery. Real-time weight scaling with the options you have with the Orochi V2. Of course, you're looking at 57 grams without a battery. That's completely useless, as they have been marketing under 60 grams. Now, if we want to go with the normal AA alkaline, we're looking at 82 grams. If we go with the included AA lithium, we're looking at 73, which is fantastic. If we go with just a standard AAA, we're looking at 69. And you do have to factor in the shell, so that brings it to 72. So that means that I would go with the AA lithium instead of a AAA alkaline. However, if we go with the AAA lithium with the adapter, We're looking at 69 grams. And that is definitely what we want to see. And that's what I've been using with the Orochi V2. Now, these are not coming with Razer's popular optical switches that you're going to find on their more premium offerings. This is second gen Razer mechanical switches. These are gold plated for 60 million clicks. These feel and sound fantastic, which is actually surprising because oftentimes when it comes to a mouse with a removable shell, you can have a tendency for the flexing or movement that does kind of diminish the crisp clicks of a switch. And fear not, that is not an issue with the Orochi V2. These are awesome switches. The scroll wheel actually, to me anyway, feels the same as the Razer offering, as the steps are very pronounced, very tactile, but it does not have that chewing sound that you're familiar with a Zowie or a Vaxi mouse. And the grip on it is really nice with a bunch of little teeth. Either way, I know that a lot of people will gloss over a scroll wheel, but I definitely do appreciate a good one, and I do like the Orochi V2 scroll wheel. Now the side buttons are definitely a really nice feature, as these are very pronounced from the exterior of this contoured side, and with it being so pronounced, you're never going to misstep on using these, and because they stick out, you can actually use that if you're ever needing to lift off with the mouse. It almost works as inadvertent grip, and so that is really nice. There is some minimal pre-travel on both of these side buttons. However, there is definitely noticeable post-travel. Either way though, nothing that's diminished my ability from computing or using this for a gaming mouse. Underneath, we have not Razer's premium Focus Plus sensor, but included is their 5G advanced sensor. So I'm sure it's been fine tuned for a workhorse of a mouse of this caliber to have that extended battery life. It performed great for me. There were no spinouts, no tracking issues on any of the surfaces that I use. Out of the box, it is preset with 5 DPI buttons that you can adjust with the DPI button on the front. Now, if you do want to make even minor adjustments with that, I do recommend downloading the Synapse software. I do recommend it only because out of the box, this also comes in at a 2mm liftoff distance. So if that's something that you're not comfortable with and you want to bring that down to 1mm, you're more than welcome to do so within the software. So oddly enough, when I opened up my Orochi copy and I put my hand on it the first time, the first mouse I thought of was not the G305. It was actually the MM711 by Cooler Master. And I say that because of the shape of this mouse. The hump is so pronounced that I actually feel it on my palm as the first point of contact over, say, something like the G305. And I love that. As someone that does claw grip, I do find a lot of comfort in the shape itself because you do have more of a hump right here, and it's definitely aggressive on the back end, but it does have a nice slope on the front for your trigger fingers that's going to provide a lot of comfort. The one issue I did have with this, though, given its shape and my particular grip style of a claw, is that it is a little too short for me. Coming in at 108 millimeters long, it is 60 millimeters wide with 38 millimeters of a height, and I find the shape to be great. Drawing up comparisons with my experience of the Orochi V2 compared to other similar small-handed mice, I will say that I definitely liked it a little bit more than the Viper Mini. I could definitely see myself gaming with this more if I can get used to that size, but that's kind of dangerous because I definitely don't want to just cramp my hand up just to enjoy any gaming. Definitely much more comfortable than the Hottie S, as well as, I would definitely say than the MM711. If you are someone with larger hand size, I have a 19 by 10 hand size, I would probably steer clear of this unless you're someone who really does have an aggressive claw, because I can fingertip this just fine. So if you're a fingertip gripper, then I would say please throw this in your cart now. If you're a palm gripper though, and you have a hand size over 19 by 10, they're going to dangle off a little bit, and that makes things a little bit more uncomfortable. So if you are in the market for something and this has really caught your eye and you've already used these mice here that you see on screen, I would say definitely give this a try. So in the end, I think the Orochi V2 is a fantastic mouse if you have the hand size for it. Because it's so small, it's not going to be for a broad audience out there. It is going to be excellent though if you're someone that is a mobile gamer with a gaming laptop, or if you're someone that just has those small hands for a stationary desktop. I would love to see them make this in a larger size, maybe even an Orochi Ultimate Edition, but I think that's really something that's really far out there only because we've been waiting so long for a Viper Mini Ultimate. So only time will tell when that option becomes available. But if you have any questions or comments on my review or the mouse itself, be sure to comment below. And if you did like it, please throw a like and of course hit a subscription. That always helps the channel. Until next time, you guys stay safe.